CM Punk trolled by AEW clip. A major wrestling debut is announced. WWE re-signs 2 top stars. And Luke Owen reviews the 18th of December episode of Raw. I'm Ollie Davis. This is the WrestleTalk News.
Support WrestleTalk!
CM Punk returned to WWE at Survivor Series 2023 because he always loved it there. It's always been his home. It's not his fault he hasn't seen Rocky 3. He's had several in-ring promo appearances on TV since, but it appears his in-ring wrestling return is being held off until 2024's Royal Rumble match, making it a neat 10 years to the show from when he last wrestled in WWE. But like most stats in WWE, it's based on lies. Punk's actual in-ring return will happen a month earlier, just not on TV, where he's been announced to wrestle Dominic Mysterio at house shows in Madison Square Garden on the 26th of December and the Kia Forum in Los Angeles on the 30th. Punk promoted the match while commentating on the MMA promotion Cage Fury Fighting Championship, saying he's wanted to punch Dom since he was 8 years old, a reference to Punk's fantastic 2010 feud with Rey Mysterio, which saw an actually 12-year-old Dominic watch on as Punk creepily sang Happy Birthday to Rey's daughter. But Dominic has grown up a lot since those days, and he's not afraid to fight dirty, replying to Punk, "Punch me like this please, CM Punk, hashtag best in the world," with a gif of Punk botching a springboard flying punch off the top rope in AEW. Oh, I'm getting breaking news just in. Dominic has been banned from Collision. But Dom posted that from a place of long-term security. As PW Insider has reported, he has signed a new WWE contract a month or so back, which one source believes is for 5 years. Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer followed this up by revealing Dom's father Ray has also re-signed with WWE. Despite wrestling in the main event of the AEW Prologue show All In back in 2018, where he could have been one of the major players early in the promotion, Ray chose to return to WWE as he thought that would be the best place for his son to train as a wrestler. A bet that was pretty risky in 2018, given Vince McMahon's erratic booking at the time, but one that has paid off massively, with Dominic becoming one of WWE's breakout stars over the last year, with some of the loudest crowd reactions you can add in post. It's also interesting to note that both of their new WWE contracts would have been agreed before their existing ones expired, meaning they missed out on the chance to become free agents and play WWE off AEW for more money. It implies they're both very happy with their roles at the moment, and the rumoured contract length of 5 years backs up reports Endeavour want to lock up talent for long periods of time. This will likely be the last full-time contract of Ray's illustrious career. And it also rules out Mike Tenay screaming, "What's the Mysterios doing in the Impact Zone?" Impact Wrestling will be reverting to its original name, TNA Wrestling, from their Hard to Kill pay-per-view on January 13th. And to promote their biggest event in years, the company's president, Scott D'Amore, has told Busted Open Radio, "We're going to have some surprises for you. We are right there at the goal line of finalising one of the biggest signings in TNA. I think it's something that is really going to shake things up here on January 13th. Sean Ross Sapp has said he doesn't think this is Mercedes Moné, as he's seen the Moné she's asking for and he thinks it's out of TNA's budget. Instead, it's far more likely to be one of the wrestlers released by WWE in September, as their non-competes expire on the 21st of December. The only names that could really touch what Amore is hyping are Dolph Ziggler and Matt Riddle.
Right, it's Survival Series next week. I know I can win, but only if Tempest doesn't ask me anything about the last couple of years of the AEW vs WWE rivalry. I don't know anything about that, and I especially don't know anything about Triple H's new WWE RAW, CM Punk joining and leaving AEW, or AEW Collision.
How am I supposed to prepare for tables, lists and chairs when there's so much else going on in the world? WWE's legal battles, mergers, CM Punk joining AEW, Tony Khan's struggles to control his company and so much more. If only someone had written all this information down somewhere so I don't have to think about it all the time.
If only they knew. WrestleTalk's brand new book, WWE vs. AEW The Fallout, offers a front row seat to the ceaseless drama, the pulse-pounding excitement, and the monumental shifts that have unfolded in the war between WWE and AEW over the past 18 months. Picking up where WWE vs. AEW The New War left off, this anthology of articles from the pages of the WrestleTalk magazine gives you fresh insights and perspective into the battle between the two companies that you simply cannot get anywhere else. It's the ultimate collector's item for those who want to remember this unprecedented time in wrestling history. Use the link in the description below to get your copy now.
I don't get it. No, really, I honestly do not know what Sullivan was joking about. But anyway, it's time for my review of Monday Night Raw, aka 5-star Miz edition of Monday Night Raw. In about 5 minutes. The final live Raw of 2023 opened like it was the summer of 2023, with the Judgment Day coming out for a promo to do their usual shtick. But this time, R-Truth came out to ask why he, a member of Judgment Day, was not asked to come out with the Judgment Day for a Judgment Day promo segment. The Judgment Day told him, rather politely, he was not invited because he's not a member of Judgment Day. He responded by saying, well, neither's JD. And in fact, maybe their Miracle on 34th Street fight should be a loser leaves Judgment Day match. Finding this all rather charming, Damian Priest was seemingly about to accept the terms, but Rhea Ripley stopped him. But that didn't stop the stip from feeling real though, especially as Michael Cole kept bringing it up despite protestations of Wade Barrett saying that Priest was only just joking, it's not a real stipulation. But it added a really nice layer to this silly plunder match, which saw Truth and JD hit each other with Christmas-based things while Michael Cole said Christmas-based phrases. He won't have a silent night. He hit him right in the jingle bells. That sure wasn't a nice present for JD. Etc, etc. Truth won by accidentally falling off the top rope, holding onto JD and crashing through a table. Later, Priest joked with JD that he was kicking him out of the group, but then Tom one-scanced him by saying that he can still be in the group. This was a lot of fun and a great way to open this festive edition of Monday Night Raw. Also, can you tell that I've just finished watching Succession? It's a good show, that. Nia Jax came out for a promo but was immediately interrupted by Becky Lynch, who challenged Jax to a match on day one. This was another great promo from Becky, and the two had a brawl which was pretty decent, and Jax stood tall. Backstage, Kofi Claus gave DIY a Jey Uso t-shirt, and The Miz hyped up his match with Gunther, the stakes of which were that, should Miz lose, he can never, ever challenge for the IC title while Gunther is still champ. And what a match this was. I'm not the biggest Miz guy. I think he's a solid mid-car wrestler, a reliable hand. If you need a talk show segment, you might not find any better in WWE than The Miz. If you need a 3-star match on TV or pay-per-view, you could do a lot worse than The Miz. I think The Miz is good. I just found a lot of his comedy and jokes had grown stale, and I just don't love him the same way that a lot of you in the comments do. And that's fine, we're not all gonna like and love the same people, it would be boring if we did. But when I bring up that I think The Miz is good, I don't get well, you're entitled to your opinion, but I disagree. I always get the same reply, you're wrong, he had a great 2016. And to be fair, he did. The Talking Smack promo, the Dolph Ziggler match, he did have a good 2016. 2016 was 7 years ago. Captain America's Civil War came out in 2016. 2016 was a long time ago. But now, if I ever say that I think The Miz is good, I expect the replies to be, he had a great feud with Gunther in 2023. And I will reply, you are entitled to your opinion, and I agree. I was skeptical on babyface Miz because the last 2 times we tried this, it was an absolute disaster, but this has totally worked. I am eating crow. I am eating hats. This is working, and this crowd was so into The Miz. And that drama, the guy who desperately wants to win this belt because he thinks he can and should be thought of as one of the best IC champs in history versus the actual best champ in IC title history, was superb. Gunther is on another level. He is a perfect wrestler. He's a perfect all-rounder. He's just perfect. And he played off Miz so well, even making Submission Miz look credible. And my word, these near falls. As someone who wanted to see Gunther retain because he's a perfect champ and the best thing in WWE right now, in my humble opinion, these near falls made my heart leap into my throat. The roll-up off the sleeper, the skull-crushing finale, the avalanche skull-crushing finale, each one getting the crowd more and more hyped, which made Gunther's destruction of The Miz. Powerbomb, Rainmaker, a card to WWE confirmed, and another powerbomb. It made them all the more devastating. This match, frankly, was f***ing brilliant. With that said, stop trying to break up Imperium! Gunther scolded Kaiser and Vinci backstage, which later led to Kaiser getting beaten by Jey Uso after they attacked Kofi claws. So much for all that protecting of Kaiser we were doing a few months back, but the idea of Jey and Kofi teaming together fills my heart with joy given all their history together. Shinsuke Nakamura read from the American Nightmare Before Christmas, very clever, and then brawled with Cody Rhodes. The Party Girls then took on Chelsea Green and Piper Niven for the women's tag titles and, surprisingly, won the bloody things. Yeah, they won. The Party Girls won the tag belts. Okay then. Ivar quickly beat Akira Tozawa and later asked to be part of the conversation to next face Gunther for the IC title, and Seth Rollins came out for a promo with Drew McIntyre. Drew talked openly about leaving his family behind to chase his dreams, even though it hurts to miss the moments with your family that matter. He doesn't want Seth's title. He needs Seth's title, just so he knows that all of the sacrifices he's made along the way were worth it. Seth fired back by saying he's not even sure what to make of Drew when he's being sincere like this because he doesn't believe he's being sincere. He may hate CM Punk, but he doesn't hate Drew McIntyre. He pities him, which, amazingly, is also taken from that Hangman promo. So yeah, last week was not a coincidence. Seth and Drew brawled, and Drew left him laying with an Alabama slam onto the stairs. This was all very good. They announced that Ivy Nile will be facing Rhea Ripley for the women's title at day one, and Bronson Reed also spoke with Adam Pearce about being part of the Gunther conversation. And the main event saw Judgment Day retain their tag titles over the Creed brothers in a decent match which really put over Julius and Brutus. Put them over as future tag champs, just not right now. The few near falls that we got were really good and really did pop the crowd. And it was a fine ending to what was a very good edition of Monday Night Raw. The show flew by and caps off what has been a very, very good year for the Red brand. This week's Raw is 4 out of 5. Our WrestleTalk End of Year Awards kick off tomorrow on the WrestleTalk podcast channel with Wrestler of the Year. But for now, check out our Parts Unknown list of the 13 worst wrestling matches of 2023.